Me and Brian been electrocuting ourselves in the basement tonight.
On your camera?
Yeah, he shocked himself twice, and
Yeah.
I just
When, 2 weeks or a month ago, whenever it was, I had to do it. I about blew my finger off.
well, I came over here and sat down, and I'd started the camera and came over here and sat down and was messing with the mixer, well, the soundboard, and it about blew up on me. I mean, it had a little spark come out and electrocuted my thumb. Mouse went dead. Almost all lights went out. It was crazy. All right, welcome to the Five Law Bears podcast here this evening. It's kind of weird weather outside here in Louisville. If you've never been to Louisville, Kentucky, it is one of the only places in the world where you can experience all four seasons in probably 12 to 13 hours, and maybe even 12 to 13 minutes, depending. Because just the other day it was like 26 degrees, and the day it was like 60, 61. Everybody's all nasty and snot and sneezing and everything because it's gross.
Snot season.
And everybody's being it's like my basement where we do all this is like I don't know, it's like a lightning rod tonight. It's just everybody's getting shocked when you're sitting there touching their microphones and everything. Okay, well, good evening. Thank you for being here with us tonight. Aaron is, as he usually is, in Texas. Charlie's on the couch. Brian's sitting in the chair. Tim, we record these 2 per week while we can get together. We record one every other week or 2 every other week.
Spoiler.
And Tim is still traveling back. Tim is still traveling back from Florida. He's had to stop at every pilot station between here and.
Because it's only pilot stations, right, Tim? That
Are you anywhere?
John, we just went through Tipton.
Oh,
okay.
yes.
Yes.
That's my home away from home, Tifton,
Would you stop and
Georgia.
give us some pecans while you're down there?
They had a sign up with your name on it and everything.
Had a picture like giving a thumbs up. It's like, yeah. We
That Five Live Bears podcast. Second home.
the second home of the
Five Live Bears.
we're making fun of your connection, Tim. It's
awesome when
in
it
and out.
happens.
I'm just gonna sit here and listen.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. When we go to Disney World, our home away from home is Tifton, Georgia, and we stay at the country inn down there.
Spoiler.
And we try to stay there, and you can go in there and swim out at their pool with about 23,000 gnats, because it seems like it must be like gnat hatching down in there. I mean, it must be like their breeding grounds or something.
Now you can ask for the John Mattingly suite.
Yeah, the John
Go
Madison.
there.
It's on the second floor.
Overlooks the Nat pool.
That's gross, man. I mean, you don't want to get out there near it. But we thank everybody for listening to us, watching us on YouTube, and continuing to support us on Facebook and SoundCloud and Google Play
G-Play.
and iTunes. And tonight what we're going to be doing is that Aaron has been extremely excited about this podcast. We're letting him kind of control it this evening, as Nintendo, one of his favorite things on the entire planet, is coming out with apparently a new game system. And so we're going to let Aaron talk about it a little bit this evening. And now we don't talk a whole lot on here about video games. Video games is not really our area. So every once in a while we'll come up with something and discuss it. But for the most part, we kind of shy away from it because I don't know about everybody else. Most of us are PS4 guys or Xbox guys. But my area of video gaming is sports games. That's pretty much all I do. Charlie's been trying to get me into Fallout 4, which I have not been able to buy yet. And Brian plays mostly when he can. He's like me. He plays maybe like 20 minutes a week or something like that. Yeah. But Aaron is the Nintendo guy of the group. And I don't think Tim, you don't play hardly at all, do you? You don't do the video game thing much, do you?
Yeah, just when Kinsey's like, "Oh, let's play Skylanders."
Every once in a great while, Susie will say, "Hey, let's play Little Big Planet," and we have to break that out and play it occasionally. And just not my big thing. Other night, she came down here and I was playing NHL 2018, and she was sitting there watching me. She's like, "Let me play." It's like, why? Because I want to see if I can score. Okay, I've been playing this game for like 25 minutes, and I had scored 1 goal in like 25 minutes. She takes the controller, goes down the ice, and like a minute later scores a goal. She's like, "That's not so hard." It's like, give me the stupid controller back. Go watch your Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah.
Get out of
You
here.
weren't classically trained like I was on the Mario Nintendo.
Yeah, the NHL '95.
You hold
is
B down
where
for
I was at.
everything.
But so tonight, Aaron, we're gonna let you have your say, talking about a new exciting system coming out for Nintendo. I have looked at it, and I will give my opinion of it after Aaron's done giving his view on it. And so, Aaron, what do you got for us this evening?
All right, so last week, Nintendo out of nowhere says, "Hey, we got a special announcement. Tune in at 3:00 or whatever." So I did, and it starts playing this crazy trailer, and I thought, "What is this? Is this 3D printing? What is this?" And it was showing like cardboard and stuff, and then they like folded it into different items and started using them in video games. And it's called Nintendo Labo, and it starts. They build a piano. You know, it's just a cardboard piano. There's nothing inside, and they hook the switch to it, and it starts playing music. And the keys actually work and everything. And it's totally bizarre, but I think it's going to totally work.
I'm sitting here. Well, hang on. I'm actually watching the Rift Track trailer for it, and it actually it's actually pretty funny.
You might have to go back and censor that part of the audio.
Yeah, I turned it off there. I was watching it, and this is I saw this thing. I was looking at it the other night on there because Aaron sent us out this thing on our messaging board that we use back and forth with each other, and he was pretty. I couldn't tell if you were really excited about it or if you were. I thought it was a joke at first. I mean, I literally thought the thing was a joke. And the more I looked at it, and I'm sorry, the more I look at it, the more I still think it's a joke. I mean, it just seems too bizarre.
It almost looks like one of those Think Geek April Fool's Day jokes.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. It's like, who in the world's going to take the time to make this stuff? Is this Nintendo's Infinity system?
What is Infinity? What are you referring to?
I'm talking about the Disney.
Oh, no.
I mean, is it going to be like that, where it's still like, oh, this is going to be this awesome thing, and everybody gets it, and you can't really do anything with it? That was the whole thing about the Infinity thing. So I didn't know if this was Nintendo's Infinity. They're going to put all this money and time into it, and then all of a sudden it's just going to be absolutely terrible.
John, what are you talking about? All the money? It's a cardboard box.
That'll still probably cost $200.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing about it. Aaron, what's the cost on this thing?
There's 2 different sets. One of them you get 5 different cardboard kits and the software, and it's $70.
Golly.
And the other one where you get to build a robot suit to wear and smash buildings, that one's $80.
Could I?
Yeah, the price is a little ridiculous. Yeah.
Could I just go and get me some old UPS boxes and make this?
But it won't have the
work?
sound effects.
Just hang out behind the Kroger when they throw out the boxes. Just grab you some, and you've got yourself a Nintendo Labo.
Well, that's because that's the thing I was thinking about here is what's going to be is it going to be cost effective for me to buy this thing for my kid? Because it's going to have to be one of these type things to where I know the trailer, it's mostly like adults playing with this thing. I could imagine like handing my 10-year-old a cardboard box and say, "Here, build a piano," and then play it. It just doesn't seem like that's going to work.
Yeah, this is definitely something for parents to do with their kids. If I didn't have kids, I probably would not buy one of these.
So
yeah, probably.
Yes, you would.
Yeah, I probably would. But I think this thing is going to blow people's minds when it's a cardboard box piano and it's actually working. I think that's just going to blow people's minds.
It's probably going to blow. I'll tell you.
Like, whose minds, Aaron? whose minds are getting blown by this? Seriously.
I think it's going to be a really big hit.
Charlie,
it comes out in March, so we'll see if it's as big a hit as I think it's going to be.
Charlie used to work for a video game company.
A stop for games, as it were. He would stop for games.
I don't like stop for games.
I don't either.
The last time I was in there, they tried to sell me 14 things I didn't want. It was like,
Go to
no.
the one in Greenbelt.
Ugh.
That kid, the manager of that store is good. He's been with GameStop, I think, since the womb. So he knows what he's doing.
I literally walked in there one night, and a guy walked up to me. He's like, "Hey, can I help you with anything?" I was like, "No, I'm just looking at the games." Well, we got our GameStop something. I don't even know. He's trying to, and he had his iPad out and everything.
Yep.
I was like, "No, I'm good."
I got out before the iPad.
I'm
days,
good.
Thank God.
And he stood there and he looked at me. And he turned around and walked off and literally handed the iPad off to another guy who walked up to me and said, "Hey, can I help you with anything?" I was like, "I'll just buy it on Amazon."
They were messing with you. That's what it was.
I was like, "I'm buying it on Amazon." man."
Either that or the
That
district
sounded
manager.
like a glitch in the Matrix.
The district manager said, "I'm watching the video, guys. You guys need to make sure you're both trying. Everybody needs to try." Okay, so I agree with John. This is going to be for the Aaron. This is not meant to be insulting. This is made for people like you, people that love Nintendo. I'm not. Tim would be like, "Oh, big for Aaron." No, I'm not.
People who like cardboard boxes. And
No, people that love Nintendo. I don't see a kid wanting to play with cardboard. I don't care how cool stuff it does. Kids don't want to make things anymore, if that makes any sense. You know, like if they still wanted to make stuff, we wouldn't have Nintendo. We'd just have Lincoln Logs. We wouldn't have PlayStation 4s. You know, this is made for the collector of Nintendo. I think it's going to flop, personally. I don't.
I think this is Nintendo trying to be we're being smart, and the Wii was this groundbreaking technology that got people to be active while playing video games, and now this is going to be Nintendo trying to have people be creative and be constructive while playing Nintendo games, and I think they're just outsmarting themselves.
Nintendo's always been, for me, it's been always kind of like the video game system of overreach. It's just kind of like they overreach for things, especially when they're doing stuff like this. And I'm talking about way back in the day. I mean, they're innovative beyond belief. But I mean, you had like the Virtual Boy and the glove and these type things that Nintendo always kind of seems to get into, and that just doesn't seem to quite pan out for them as well. Now, I mean, the Wii's awesome. I mean, going all the way back to the original Wii system, which I still have one sitting around here. The Wii U is really good. Their systems in and of themselves are good. It just seems like this extra stuff that they try to put out never quite pans out. Brian, you got daughters which seem to be in the market age for this system or this software or whatever, or cardboard boxes, whatever it is. Yeah. What are your thoughts on it?
They won't be getting it.
Okay, well, let's just theoretically speaking.
Oh, sorry. I mean, did you want me to cut right to the chase?
Yeah, no. I mean, I understand. You're like, it's a dumpster fire, but okay, let's say.
I mean, I can get this out of the dumpster.
If they saw it at Toys R Us, a demo unit, would they want it?
If it can't,
of
It would
course,
already be built.
yeah. They'd be like, Dad, can we not buy the one that's already assembled? I mean, come on.
Okay, well, let's say it's released in April, and you walk into Toys R Us in May and find it falling out of the clearance bin, which is probably where it will land. What would they do? I mean, would you? Is this something that you could get into with them, or is it?
No, we would go to the Legos and build with Legos.
See, I would be with Susie if it was me and her trying to build this thing. I would get to the point so frustrated with it that I'd probably just.
But I mean, think about it. If it's cardboard, I mean, you're one bad bend away from the thing being useless.
Well, yeah,
that's my problem. Like I remember when I was like 12 and I tried to make origami, and it was just like I'm done.
Yeah.
I couldn't even like make a swan.
Yeah.
Wants me to make a piano.
Right.
Like that's gonna happen. I mean, seriously.
I feel like this is going to be like the golf club attachment for the Wiimote and the tennis racket, the sword attachment for the Wiimote. Everybody's going to have it. Going to use it once, never use it again.
So, Aaron, so the pack that you can make the piano out of is, you said $70, right?
Right.
And
it's not just a piano. You can make the dollhouse and the fishing rod and then whatever.
So,
what am I doing with the dollhouse? I mean, what's the point of that? I don't get that. Like, the piano I get, and the robot, whatever I get. Like, I'm going to build a dollhouse and do what with my Nintendo Switch? Have people walk in and out of it?
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. They haven't showed enough of it yet.
Well, but here's the question I was getting at is, okay, so you buy the piano and you make the dollhouse. You make this thing for $70. Okay, I make the piano. I'm done with the piano. I'm playing the piano, and it's great. And all of a sudden, I'm like, hey, I think I'd like to have the dollhouse. Do I have to go out and buy another $70 cardboard box, or can I take?
No, it has all 5 sets. In the
Oh,
box.
okay. I had not seen enough of it. That's the reason I was asking, because it's like, okay, if I have to go back out, if it's something, because that was the thing I was going to get at here is okay, is this going to be like what happened with the Disney Infinity system, where it became this money grab type of thing, to where okay, I can buy it and I can either make the piano, I can make the dollhouse, or I can make the birdhouse, or I can make the Titanic, and I got to choose.
Now I would buy a Titanic. Switch for you, just friggin' just
We got
iceberg dead ahead.
you phased out when you said I'd buy the Titanic, and then came back in when you said iceberg.
As the model like breaks in half right in your hands.
Well, and I think that was my thing is
Jack
I got
slips out into the water.
I never let you go. Oh.
I got so burnt on the Infinity, because when it first came out, I was like, oh, this is gonna be really cool, because me and Susie can, we can build things, and we can play in the play house or toy box or whatever it is. And then we bought it because, man, they showed on Disney Channel, and there were people building like massive castles and roller coasters and all these other really cool things. And we got it, and you couldn't hardly build anything. I mean, it was just almost impossible because of the kind of the limitations of what a console can do. Now, if it had been on a computer, like on a PC, and you could add the building tools, say Sims 4 or whatever, it'd have been great. But it was just so clunky. And then they insult your intelligence by saying, okay, well, we're going to put all these Marvel characters, but you got to buy a new $70 game. And then it's like, all right, we bought that because we wanted the Marvel characters. And then all of a sudden it's like Star Wars, baby. We got Star Wars coming out, but you're going to have to buy a new $70 game. And I think people just got tired of that. I mean, I think that's the reason why it didn't last very long, because people like me are like, no, heck with it. I ain't buying another $70 system. Right. And that's my thing with this is I, to me personally, I just don't see where this is going to be a massive, huge thing that Nintendo's going to be able to put out, and people are just going to be this massive success. Aaron, on the other hand, thinks it's going to be. I know, Aaron, we're not trying to sound like we're trashing you, but I just don't. I don't see it.
I have my concerns, like Tim said about the dollhouse. What all is that like a full game, or is it just like a little gimmick and you're done? I do have concerns about the software and stuff. So I definitely want to know more information before I buy one. So.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna pass on it. I think the Nintendo Labo is something I'm gonna pass on and save my money for, I don't know, something else.
We'll watch in 6 months. There'll be nothing but cardboard by John.
I'll have them all. Be sitting down here trying to play at stupid piano. I was like, I'm missing some keys.
You'll have a cardboard microphone and everything.
You can wear a cardboard. Yeah, I'll just have on I have on the robot suit. Now, if somebody will buy it for me, I will wear it. I mean, I'd wear the cardboard robot suit. I mean, I did wear a wood proton pack for Halloween this year.
You did
for Ghostbusters.
Bustin' makes me feel good.
There's nothing like hearing Tim scream at us from Tifton, Georgia this evening. Aaron, you had a list this evening, keeping in the video game vein this evening. What did you have?
I've got the top 10 best games that Nintendo ever made, and the way I did this list was just one from each series, so it won't be all Zelda or all Mario.
All right.
So just real quick, number 10, I have WarioWare. I don't know if you guys have ever played WarioWare, but it's basically a think fast type game. Really goofy Japanese humor. It's a lot of fun. It's a fun party game. Number 9 is Pikmin 2, which is just a really great game. But I feel like only me and Jackson ever play it. So
I remember
number 8.
I played the original Pikmin. It was pretty decent. I liked it.
Yeah, Pikmin 2 is they took everything that was wrong with Pikmin and threw it out and improved it. So it's really great. Number 8 is the game that I think everybody has played, even my parents. Wii Sports. It was just a massive hit. I think, like even the Queen of England was playing this game. So it was.
Charlie, what was your high score in Wii bowling?
I played it one time. I never owned a Wii, but we had every single day somebody call. Yeah, my Wii bowling broke. You get that Wii bowling? Wii Sports. Yeah, whatever. Mine broke. How much is yours? It's $20. That's too much. It came free with the system. Yeah. Well, it's here if you want to buy it. If not, have a nice day.
My fondest memories of playing Wii Sports is when my grandparents were still alive, and they were like in their mid-80s. And my mom and dad would go over and spend the evening with them. And to keep them from being completely bored, we would take the Wii over there and play Wii bowling. And my grandpa was always like, what's that stupid thing? Ain't Jeopardy on? Have we watched Jeopardy?
You gotta learn something.
Yeah, Jeopardy.
Was that your same grandpa that told you to Man on the Moon mows the yard better than you?
Yeah, that was the same grandfather. We had a very
loving relationship.
Yeah, you can't mow the lawn any better than the Man in the Moon. I said, well, why don't you call him up, have him come down here and do it for you then? And then he just laughed and walked off. That was good memories, good times there. All right, can you continue on there, Aaron?
Number 7 is Mario Kart 8 for Wii U.
Wow.
It's a really fun Mario Kart game. Number 6, Super Mario Brothers 3 for the Nintendo. Kind of took everything that was great with Super Mario Brothers and improved it. The Raccoon Mario, all that fun stuff. Number 5, one that a lot of people haven't played, but Donkey Kong for the Game Boy. It starts with the usual Donkey Kong levels, and then you beat those. There's like 100 more levels after that. And it's just really fun, really awesome game. Number 4, Super Metroid, which I recently played all the way through. Really fun game. Number 3, one of my favorites, Earthbound, which is a weird RPG, but I love it.
You have that tattooed on your body somewhere, don't you?
I do, yeah.
Like in the movie or TV show.
Somebody does not want Tim to talk tonight. Yeah, that was amazing,
We
Tim.
caught none of that, Tim.
Chicka bobo.
I hate my life right now.
All right, Aaron, continue on.
Number 2, Smash Brothers for Wii U. Has like 50 playable characters. People like Ryu and from Street Fighter, all kinds of crazy stuff. And number 1, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Just really great game.
Did you make this list or did you find this list?
He made it.
He's got time, man. He can do
Aaron's
that.
top 10
Okay,
list.
I was just curious. I didn't know.
Yeah, Aaron's
No, it's actually it's a good list, and it's far better than the top 10 list I was putting together when I had the same thing on it 15
The
times.
top 10 things that are actually 6 things.
Yeah, that was an amazing. That was the last amazing list I ever put together.
Number 5, Kylo Ren. Number 4, Kylo Ren.
Ren Kahlo.
Number 3, Yoda, which was also 7, 8, 9.
It was terrible. That was a horrible list. All of us in here have been Nintendo guys. I mean, we've all played Nintendo at some point. Any honorable mentions that you would have if you had one, if you could play that one game again, what would it be? What would be that one Nintendo game that you would play?
Both of the G.I. Joe games for the NES. I loved those games as a kid. Now, as an adult, they might be terrible, but as a kid, Rise of Atlantis, I can't remember what the other one was called. Aaron, you remember what they were called? The Nintendo G.I. Joe games?
I think the first one was just G.I. Joe, and the second one was like Rise of Atlantis.
Yeah. They were fun. But what was great about the games is that you had 3 playable characters, and you could switch between them. So if one was about to die, you could pick the other one and go through. Yeah, it was a fun game.
Yeah.
Brian, what did you have?
Oh, got to be Contra.
Contra, yes.
I mean, up, down, left, right, BA, start. I mean,
Oh, yeah. The Konami code.
tattooed right here, baby.
Always. Tim?
I'm scared to speak.
I don't remember that game, Tim. Can you tell me a little more about it?
Double Dragon.
Ooh, nice.
Loved some Double Dragon.
No Street Fighter on the honorable mention.
Not yet. Aaron?
That original Legend of Zelda.
Yes, original Legend of Zelda.
game.
I'm gonna finish it up here with
Shinobi.
two of them. No, not Shinobi. First one would be Shadowgate, which was a adventure game, and my all-time favorite. Played it in the basement all the time at night. Summertime, Star Tropics. That's one of my all-time favorite weird games that Nintendo ever put out. Well, we're about out of time for this one this evening. We were going to go on a short one tonight, and we want to thank everybody for continuing to support us. Aaron, we thank you for your list this evening. Thank you for putting that stuff together. Go out and buy you a Lobo or whatever it's called, and get you some cardboard Labo. Yeah.
Weibo.
Tim, we hope you have a good, safe trip the rest of the way home. All right.
Thanks, guys. Weeks.
Thanks, guys. Weeks.
Okay, thanks, guys. And I want to continue.
Thank you guys.
Want to thank everybody who continuing to listen to us on Facebook,
you guys.
SoundCloud, iTunes, and Google Play. Like us and share us on there, and give us some good reviews on iTunes, and continue to support us on YouTube as well. We do appreciate everybody who does continue to watch us on there, and we just hope everybody has a good weekend.
See you later, players.
Sorry, Brent.
Have a good one.